What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. All right, so let's get this video started. What are the top 5 reasons that I'm thinking about selling my Jeep Wrangler and buying a Toyota 4Runner? Let's get into it. There are 5 reasons. It took me a little bit to come up with all 5 of them because I love that Wrangler. I love it. I love driving it. I drive it more than anything I own. And I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I'm seriously thinking about it. So, what are the top 5 reasons? We're going to go from last to first. So, number 5, let's get into it. Modding capability. And there's a reason that this is 5. So don't go to the comments just yet. Don't go to them just yet and write how much you can mod a Jeep, because I know that. And that is why this is number 5. Because you can mod a Jeep probably more than you can mod a 4Runner. I'm just saying. There is so much stuff that you can do to a Jeep, but there is a lot of stuff that you can do to 4Runners and Toyotas in general. Toyotas have a huge aftermarket parts selection, and a lot of stuff. I would say I've not been around a 4Runner a lot as of the new ones. I used to own an old one, like a 99, I think, 98 or 99, I can't remember. But about anything I would guess that you can do to a Tacoma, you could about do to a 4Runner, if I was guessing. The front ends are a little different, stuff like that, but it's built basically on the same chassis and everything, so a lot of stuff has got to be similar, I'm thinking. And if there's one vehicle out there that you can mod as much as a Jeep Wrangler, it's a Toyota Tacoma. So if you can mod the Tacoma almost as much as the Wrangler, you should be able to mod a 4Runner pretty close to what you can a Tacoma, in my opinion. Now, I've not driven a 4Runner. I may get in, like, this thing's tiny, because the Tacoma is way tiny. I mean, way tiny. I basically can't fit in a Tacoma, so I've not driven one yet. So once I get in, I'm out. But Modability is number 5, and like I said, the reason it's number 5 is probably because it's hand in hand. You can mod a Jeep too. I've done tons of thousands of dollars of stuff to that Jeep. And so you have to give it, neck and neck, so I couldn't rank it any higher than 5th. Number 4, ride quality. Now, that doesn't mean a huge deal to me. That's why it's so low on the chart. I couldn't rank it 5th because Modability was so equal between the 2 vehicles, and the Jeep might even have it edged out a little bit, but I couldn't rank ride quality 5th. But a 4Runner is going to ride better than a Jeep Wrangler. It's going to happen. My Jeep Wrangler rides like a covered wagon. When you hit a pothole, you know it. And the 4Runner I had and the Tundra I've got and Tacomas I've rode in, they're just not like that. They don't beat you to death. The ride quality is better. It is quieter in the vehicle. The top on my Jeep has a slight leak when it rains a lot, if it's just sitting there. Now, if I'm driving it, it blows over, but if it's just sitting there. So there is some quality about the 4Runner that is better, as far as craftsmanship of the vehicle. That's better, and ride quality is one of those. Like I said, it's not a big deal. That's why it's so far down on the list. I don't care that my Jeep beats me to death. But if I had to drive it for 8 hours to Florida, I might get tired of being beat to death a little bit. It's just not as comfortable to drive as the Tundra is. And number 3. And number 3 is the Jeep is probably worth more. Jeeps are number 1 overall in holding their value as far as Wranglers go. Wranglers hold their value better than anything on the market today, and that makes no sense. No sense to me at all. You can take the top off of it. It's a fun vehicle to drive. It's not that powerful. I mean, yeah, you can Hemi swap it for, if you want to do like a Hellcat swap, it's $65,000. And I know because I checked into it. And I think a regular Hemi swap is something like 40 or 45,000, something like that. It's quite a bit less, but still, you could buy a Jeep for what you're putting a Hemi in it for. So it's not realistic for me. I'm sure people have tons of money that's realistic for them. Whenever I picked mine up, they were actually building a Jeep for a guy. It was a Rubicon. It was gray. They were putting a Hellcat in it. And they said by the time the guy got done with it and came to pick it up, now it's a brand new Jeep, mind you, brand new, he was going to have something like $140,000 in this Wrangler. I can't do that. But there are people out there that can, and that's a good option if you can. But the Jeep is probably worth more money than the 4Runner, so I could technically sell my Jeep with 64,000 miles on it, somewhere around there, and buy a newer model 4Runner. Now my Jeep's a 2014. I could probably buy a year or two newer 4Runner with less miles, plus mine has all the mods done to it. Sorry about the birds. Every time I do a video, they go crazy for some odd reason. But I've done a lot of stuff to it, which I could get a little bit more out of that, because Jeep people are willing to pay a little bit more if they've been modded. So I could get a year or two newer 4Runner with probably 15 or 20,000 less miles for around the same money that I could, sell mine for. So that is appealing to me, that I could get a 4Runner, with, let's say, 45,000 miles on it for the same money that I could sell my Jeep with 64,000 miles on it. And yes, it would be a bone stock one, but that's what I want. I do a YouTube channel, so I don't want anything done to it. I want to be able to build it the way I want it. So that would be what I was looking for, and that's pretty appealing, that I could get a lower mileage vehicle in a newer model year. Next, number 2 is channel content. Channel content. This is a Toyota channel. I know what you all want to watch, because I see the views on the Jeep and everything else. They tank. I throw up a Jeep video, it gets 400 to 700 views. I throw up a Toyota video, it gets anywhere from 2,000 to, all the way up to over 300,000. I've got a Toyota video with over 300,000 views on it. So, it gets anywhere from that range. My highest Jeep video probably is just a little over 1,000. So that's a huge difference. So I know that you all are Toyota fans and that you all want to watch Toyota content. So if I traded my Jeep and got a 4Runner, that's more Toyota content, and I feel like more people would view the videos, and it just makes business sense. Because I've said this before, I view this as a business. I treat it as a business, and it just makes good business sense to buy something that's going to do better on the channel. Whether I love the Jeep or not, if you're going to try to make this a business and try to, make it bigger as you go, you have to give the people what they want. And the people have spoken. You're Toyota people, and you want to see Toyota content. So it just makes good sense. So that's number 2. And number 1, numero uno. We all know this is coming. We know this is coming. You can put it in the comment section below. You can take a guess. We know what it is. Reliability. Reliability. Jeeps are known for their horrible reliability. We all know that. Consumer Reports knows that. Everybody in the world knows that. Now, I'm not saying every Jeep is going to have issues. I've not had a single issue with my Jeep, knock on wood, other than that small little oil leak that I've never fixed, and I've never had to add oil to it at all, ever. So until I had to start adding oil, I wasn't going to worry about it. I still don't have to add oil. I'm not going to worry about it. It's like a $1,000 fix or something like that to replace that rear main seal. And it's just not worth it if I'm not having to do anything to correct it. Now, if I had to add a half a quart or something in between oil changes, maybe. But I don't have to add a drop. So there was no use in actually fixing that. You can barely even see where it's coming out of. So I wouldn't worry about that. But as far as drivability, reliability, stuff like that, knock on wood, I've not had any issues at all with my Jeep. But as we all know, horrible, horrible reliability. And that's why reliability is number 1. In the back of my mind, if I drove the Jeep to Florida, although I've had no issues with it, I would be thinking, when's this thing going to break down? It's Jeep. It's going to break down. I know a lot of people that own Jeeps that's had issues with them. Love my Jeep, but I don't fully trust it, even though I've not had any issues with it, because it's a Chrysler product, and we all know how reliable those are. But Toyotas are known on the other end of the spectrum. 100% great vehicles. All right, not 100%. Not 100%. My 98, 99, whatever year it was, did blow an engine at 116,000 miles. I had to throw that in there. I did. I had to tell you all that because it did happen. Blew a hole in the side of the block about that big around. But that's not normal. It is normal for Jeeps to have issues. It's not normal for Toyotas to have a lot of issues. So that's why reliability is number one. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Would you watch 4Runner videos? Would you watch them? If I bought a 4Runner and started modding that, would you watch them? Just want to know. Because if you will, I'll probably do it. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time.